Hi, welcome to the latest video in this short series on Irish surnames origins. Today I'm going to be talking about Anglo-Irish surnames. For those of you paying close attention will know that Anglo-Irish is a very, very slippery word indeed. So let's get right down to wrestling with it. Go to the site. Right, here we are on the home page. And just to remind you where all the information that I'm using comes from, surname data, surname origins, and here you have a list of all the origins. And today, let's click on Anglo-Irish and see what happens. We've only got 9 of them there. Now that's ridiculous, isn't it? Because in one sense, Anglo-Irish simply means English speaking in Ireland. And since English is the mother tongue of virtually everybody on the island, virtually every surname in Irish surname in the English language is, quote, an Anglo-Irish surname. That's not quite the sense in which I'm using it here, or I'm going to talk about it here. But it is something to be kept in mind. The reason there are so few appearing here in this list is to do more with what this page is doing rather than the topic itself. All this does is take a term, in this case Anglo-Irish, you see it here in the browser bar, and it runs a query against the content of the surname dictionary. So every entry in which the phrase Anglo-Irish appears comes up here. It doesn't appear very often because Ireland is, as I said, Anglo-Irish is nearly the default surname. The reason for that is really the Anglicization of Gaelic surnames. I mean, for example, Harrington, one of my favorite examples. Harrington is a fine, good old yeoman south of England name. But if you go to West Cork, every second person is called Harrington. And that's not because they all came from Kent to West Cork. It's because the few that did come from Kent decided that the O'Harachdowns in West Cork should be called Harrington instead. And there are hundreds upon hundreds of examples of that. Jennings is another one. Reddington is another one. Waters. These are all now apparently Anglo-Irish surnames that are based on Irish originals. I mean, one of the examples is given here in the one of my favorite examples is Guthrie, which is actually a Scottish surname, but it comes from a translation of the Gaelic surname O'Leahy, and Lachach means slime or mud, and in English, in the old Anglo-Irish English, that was called guttery. So they became gutteries instead of slime balls. And so they became Guthries. So, and the original family are Lahys. There are still Lahys in Clare. There are still Guthries in Clare. And a lot of them come from the same origin. One of the things that about Anglo-Irish surnames is that the old Gaels, back when before the 17th century, before the collapse of Gaelic culture, they were very proud of the fact that our Gaelic surnames encoded kinship. You might have a surname that said John, the son of Mary, the daughter of Peter, the son of John of Declan. So you could have this long and you still have in some Irish-speaking areas, you have just lists of first names that give ancestry. And to a people steeped in that kind of culture, the notion that you could have a surname like Fox or Chalk or Black, it was just absurd, completely absurd. And the old Irish poets mocked these newcomers arriving in the 16th century with these ridiculous names that said they were of the family of Stones. Oh, yes. Oh, very funny. And then, of course, when they won, when they beat the old, destroyed the old Gaelic culture, they then went about taking all these fine old kinship names and translating them into things like Harrington and Guthrie and Reddington. So anyway, there are plenty of surnames that, as I hope I've given you some sense, plenty of surnames in Ireland that are apparently Anglo-Irish that come from an original Gaelic. And of course, then there are also very, very Anglo-Irish. Hamlin, for example, here, Anglo-Irish of Meath, of Hamlinstown in Meath. So Anglo-Irish surnames very often in the east of the country where the colonization was most thorough. But anyway, I hope again I've given you food for thought, and I can't do any more than that. Good luck. Thanks for watching.